Right, Emma. Do you ever just think about how many brilliant ideas people have, but then they sort of fizzle out? And a lot of the time, I reckon it's because they haven't quite figured out where they actually fit?
Oh, absolutely, James. It's like they've got this great product or service, but it's just too broad, right? They're trying to appeal to everyone, and then they end up appealing to no one really. So what you're saying is finding a profitable niche is super fundamental.
Exactly. It's absolutely critical, especially now. The market's so crowded, isn't it? You can't just chuck something out there and hope for the best. A niche, it's not just about narrowing your focus. It's about finding that sweet spot, a specific segment of a larger market where there are unmet needs, and enough demand to actually build something sustainable.
Unmet needs and demand. That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just about picking a tiny corner, but a hungry tiny corner, if that makes sense. What's the big win there? Why bother going so specific?
Well, the big win, Emma, is massive, actually. Think about it. Reduced competition, yeah? You can cultivate incredibly strong customer loyalty because you're solving a very specific problem for a very specific group of people. Plus, your marketing efforts become so much more optimized, less scattered, and the best bit, higher profit margins, because you're often seen as the specialist, the go-to expert.
Wow, higher profit margins definitely sounds good to me. So if someone's just starting out thinking about this, where do you even begin? Is it all just guessing what people want?
Not at all, Emma. Actually, the very first step, and it sounds a bit introspective, but it's crucial, understand your own interests and expertise. Honestly, you've got to start with what you're passionate about, what you enjoy learning, what problems you're already skilled at solving, or even, just a hobby. If you're genuinely excited about the niche, you'll stick with it when the going gets tough. It's like building a business around something you don't even like. That's just not fun, is it?
No, that sounds like a recipe for burnout, to be honest. Okay, so passion first. Got it. But then how do you confirm that your passion actually lines up with what people are looking for? That's where the market research comes in, I guess?
Precisely. And this is where it gets really fun, really, with all the tools we have. First up, keyword research. You've got Google Trends, Keyword Planner, SEMrush, all these brilliant things to see what people are actually searching for. You're looking for high search volume, but not insane competition. That tells you there's demand. And then, diving into trends. Is this niche growing or is it on its way out? Google Trends is ace for that. And don't forget demographics. Facebook Ads Manager, Google Analytics. They give you a proper picture of who your potential customers are and what they actually buy.
Right, so you're seeing what people type into Google. But what about what they're really thinking, their pain points? How do you get to that?
Excellent question. That's where you hit up online communities. Think Reddit, Quora. Those places are gold mines, genuinely. People are openly discussing their problems, asking questions. You can also run surveys and polls, using Google Forms or SurveyMonkey. Directly ask people what they're struggling with.
So once you've got a handle on your interests and validated that there's demand, the next big step is to properly size up the competition. You can't just ignore them, can you?
No, you definitely can't. It's like walking into a race without knowing who else is running, right? So what exactly are we looking for when we size them up? Is it just who's already there?
Well, yeah, who's there is a start, but you need to go deeper. Look at their products, their pricing strategies, how they market themselves. What are people saying in their customer reviews? Are there common complaints, gaps in their offerings? That's your opportunity, Emma. You're looking for where you can differentiate yourself, where you can bring something uniquely valuable to the table. A truly profitable niche often shows signs of limited competition, or at least gaps where you can excel.
So it's not just about finding an empty space, but finding a space where you can be better or different. That makes sense. And then, of course, the big one. Is it actually going to make money? How do you figure out the profit potential?
Absolutely crucial that. A niche has to be profitable. Otherwise, what's the point, eh? You need to consider what customers are actually willing to pay. Can you charge enough to cover your costs and still have a healthy margin? Think about potential revenue streams too. Is it just product sales? Or can you do subscriptions, affiliate marketing? You really need to look at your cost structures, and project that out. You're looking for sustainable profit margins and, crucially, potential for future growth. You don't want to pick something that's just a flash in the pan.
Okay, so we've got our passion, we've done our research, looked at competitors, and we think it could be profitable. But how do you know for sure before you go all in and invest everything you have? Is there a way to test the waters?
Absolutely, Emma. You absolutely must test it. Never, ever just jump in blind. This is where a minimum viable product, or MVP, comes in really handy. It's like a stripped-down version of your idea, just enough to get it out there and see if people actually want it. Or even simpler, you could build a basic landing page, gauge interest with signups, get feedback through interviews, focus groups. It's all about tracking metrics, how many signups, conversion rates, associated costs to acquire that interest. You can even do some pre-launch marketing on social media. It's about validating your concept without breaking the bank initially.
That's brilliant. So you're not building the whole fancy skyscraper, you're just testing if the foundation works. I like that. But then after the test, what about the long game? How do you ensure it's not just viable now, but sustainable for years to come?
Exactly. The long game is vital. You've got to determine if you actually possess the necessary resources, time, money, expertise, to really make a go of it in that niche. Don't underestimate that. And then, importantly, you need to investigate those long-term market trends. Is this niche going to be relevant in 5-10 years? Is it built on a fad or, a fundamental enduring need? You want a niche that can grow with you, not one that's going to dry up. You're looking for stability and longevity, really.
Okay, this has been so incredibly helpful, James. I feel like I have a much clearer roadmap now, but you mentioned a bunch of tools earlier. Could you quickly run through some of the absolute essentials again? Maybe a mix of free and paid that listeners could check out?
Absolutely, Emma. Glad it's helpful. So for keyword research and trends, you've got your Google Trends and Google Keyword Planner, both free and fantastic. Then for serious deep dives, SEMrush and Ahrefs are brilliant, comprehensive SEO tools, paid but invaluable. Ubersuggest is another solid one. For audience questions and pain points, Answer the Public is great, really visualizes those. And of course, Reddit and Quora, they're free social listening goldmines. For demographics, Facebook Audience Insights are super useful. And for surveys, SurveyMonkey or Google Forms are your go-to.
Wow, that's a brilliant toolkit. And before we wrap up, you mentioned some profitable niche examples for 2024. Any quick standouts that might inspire someone who's feeling a bit stuck?
Oh, loads, actually. Consistently profitable areas, year after year, include things like digital marketing, everyone needs it, health and wellness, that's massive, personal finance and investing, absolutely, technology and AI, obviously huge, sustainable and ethical products, really booming, travel and adventure, parenting and childcare, recipes and food, personal development and self-care, and blogging and making money online, of course. These aren't just fads, they're evergreen areas with strong, consistent demand, plenty of room for specific sub-niches within them.